You guys ever seen that Sylvester Stallone movie Cobra? That's what G-Man looks like to me in those glasses.
Hey, we're live. There we
I don't
go.
think I've ever seen it.
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
everybody, how we doing? Travis Berardi here, alongside the OH Report crew. Down there, Brian Skronsky, CEO, president, everything you need to know about the OH Report. It's him. Over there, Hayden Gray, the string bean, the newest addition to the OH Report family. Guy that looks like Cobra Commander in the middle, that's G-Man. And down in the bottom corner, that may freeze up every once in a while, but he is here, that's Storm Blunchley. Gentlemen, how are you enjoying your snow day this afternoon and evening? Good?
It's great. It's awesome.
good.
Been shoveling driveways all day, but that's it.
All right, I want to welcome
I
everybody on
shoveled
Facebook and
a
YouTube as well.
driveway.
You shoveled a driveway. Hey, that's more work.
Yeah, I did get my neighbors. You'll see. I got a little video that we're going to be showing in a little bit. I shoveled some for my neighbors too. Just being a good Samaritan that I am, keeping the peace in the hood. So we'll see that later, though. Go ahead, Trev.
Well, we have everybody in here. We may have some technical difficulties because of the snowstorm. Everybody's on the internet everywhere, so just bear with us, and we're recording this, so whatever. Hayden, hopefully you can hear us, buddy, up there in the corner, because he has there he is. He has a segment that he wants to let you all know about. So Hayden, I'm going to let you start things off and let us know what you want to do.
I think I can hear you now.
Okay. Let us know what you want to do with your new segment you have coming here on the OH Report in the upcoming days.
So basically what we have talked about doing is we talk a lot about high school sports, obviously on our live streams, podcasts, and we sometimes touch on certain like nationally recognized college headlines, but we want to bring a focus to some of the colleges and universities that we have specifically in state in Ohio, and bring some of the attention to those headlines and stories that are out there. So want to launch at least, a weekly segment that's going to touch on relevant and current events for Ohio college athletics, spotlight some Ohio college athletes that are just doing some incredible things. And, that being said, we want to talk about some athletes that are from this area as well and doing their thing at the next level. So we've got our handful of people that we've talked quite a bit about this year on the podcast, some athletes like Brennan Armstrong, Taylor Huff, doing some big things at the next level. You got Cade Stover, but that could be any division as well. There are a lot of athletes from the area in Division II, Division III doing some great things. So as the segment, gets rolling, the first couple episodes will probably be introductory, spent time on current events, and talking about relevant headlines for Ohio colleges, but we definitely want to get some guests on the show. So that's where, you guys come in as well. We'll definitely want to get some input to hear about athletes we should be taking a spotlight at and talking to, trying to get them in there. So that's what it's going to be. And, after the first episode, just going to be looking for input from everyone that watches it and seeing how you like it and where you want it to go from there.
Yeah, and anybody in the comments section, let us know what athletes at the college level from North Central Ohio do you want us to highlight? Do you want Hayden to highlight? This is one of our special edition shows, but we want you guys to interact with us as well, ask us questions, do whatever. But the first question would be, what athletes would you like Hayden to highlight? Is Brian's so surprised down here that he's frozen in time. That's how we're going to be going here tonight. There he is. Let's go around the table here. Brian, what athlete would you like to see Hayden highlight first?
Oh, the first athlete? He mentioned some of the great ones that we got going on. I think I want to go a little bit off menu here. Let's go check out Cam Todd and see what that boy's doing down in Columbus. I know that he's been working hard. I see his dad's been posting some videos of what he's been up to. He's getting his body on a new level, and he's just one of the most charismatic young people that I've ever met. Got a great positive attitude. He's at Ohio Dominican and C-Bus, so I'd like to throw out a nod for Cam Todd being our first.
All right, that's a good one. G, who would you like to see?
I think you got to obviously go with Brennan Armstrong because the guy could be an NFL draft pick one day. So I'm going to go with Brennan Armstrong. And Hayden, very familiar with him, so I think those two would get along pretty well. It would be interesting to see how they would be able to collab on some kind of video.
No one's on the
G?
internet.
I mean, Storm? Geez, thank you, G. Storm, who would you like to see?
I'd have to go with the same thing. Brennan Armstrong, one of the premier athletes from around the area, Shelby native. So I think that would just be pretty exciting to see how he's doing, especially because I'm sure he's gearing up to play some NFL football here in the next coming months or years. So I would be super excited to see him on the show.
Myself, I would like to see Tyrell Ajon from the University of Kentucky. He had a couple big plays this year. He had an interception that helped secure their bowl win, I believe, as well. So that's another one. Madison High School, multi-sport athlete Tyrell Ajon would be another good one. Let's keep moving along. G-Man, you had your recipes for success done this week, and we have a little preview to show you. So without further ado, a preview of this week's recipes for success.
Welcome back to another edition of Recipes for Success with G-Man. This one a little bit different, not at the studio using the green screen, at Mama's house using her kitchen. We're going to get down, and I'm going to tell you how Clear Fork might be able to upset them Shelby Whippets on Saturday morning.
All right, G, what are you thinking? Give us a little bit more of this preview. What are you looking into for the upset by the Clear Fork Lady Colts?
Well, I was at the last game between these two, the MOAC foes, and Shelby just beat the doors off of Clear Fork, really, to say the least. And it really was never a game at the halftime mark. And I think Clear Fork got obviously the big win against Cardington-Lincoln State ranked. So coming in with some confidence, they were able to feed Becca Conrad down low, and Cardington-Lincoln had no answers. Shelby was able to limit Conrad down low. So I think that's going to be the big matchup, is if Becca Conrad can't get hers, Clear Fork might struggle. But if Shelby isn't able to stop her down low, Clear Fork might have a shot to knock them off on Saturday morning.
And I saw them in their game against Cardington-Lincoln, like you said. That first half, they played a very good first half. Dominant, did everything they needed to. They got the ball inside to Becca Conrad. She wasn't getting pushed around. They had some big threes on the outside. I think it's going to take a complete inside-outside effort by the Lady Colts if they want to get the upset, because Shelby, they're one of the best teams in the state, number 2 in the state poll, but it's going to take a complete perfect effort by Clear Fork if they want to have a chance at it.
Yeah, I agree. And Shelby, I think it's going to run through their big three, and I think it's got to be Olivia Baker, Haley Baker, and Sophie Neese. I think we've been talking about their bench depth a little bit here in the recent months, but I think the stars are going to shine against a premier team in the MOAC and Clear Fork, and they're going to need those three to step up and carry them offensively. And Sophie Neese lead defensively, get some steals, and get some transition buckets.
Ski, what's it going to take for the Colts to get the win?
Becca Conrad dropping about 35. She's the most unguardable beast that I've seen this season in girls basketball. So if they can keep getting it to her down low, Shelby doesn't have anybody that can match up with her, but most teams don't. The Whippets are going to have that team speed. They're going to have the shooting ability from the outside. Can they keep a 6'3" presence like Becca off the boards that keeps pulling down rebounds and then putting it back up? I think if she goes for 30+, they got a shot.
All right, Hayden, what's it going to take for Shelby to keep from being upset?
I think it's just going to be, how they choose to attack guarding Becca down low. They did a pretty good job in that first game in the first half, limiting her offensively a lot, restricting what she could do. And I think just kind of wreaking havoc defensively, causing turnovers. They've been running that full court press against a lot of teams. They ran it against River Valley last week when I was there. And I think that can be really chaotic, and they've got the shooters to get down in transition. And one of the combos that always seems to be there is it doesn't matter who gets the steal, but Audie Albert always finds her way into the paint. So I think if they can, just score in bunches quickly, that I don't think that Clear Fork will be able to keep up that same pace.
And Storm, I'm going to let you get the final word on this topic. Who do you think's going to win, and what's it going to take for them to get the victory?
Well, I definitely think Shelby's going to win, and they're just going to go out and kind of need to do what they did in the first matchup. I mean, they absolutely just kind of boat raced Clear Fork, and what they did work. They were able to keep Becca Conrad to a minimum amount of rebounds as well as points. So, it's going to be difficult if you're Clear Fork to go out and win that one. You got a lot of pieces you got to try to stop. You got a big three that you got to try to contain all of them because any of them can go off on any given night. So it's going to take quite an effort and quite a game plan from Coach Sellers. But I don't know. I think the Shelby Whippets are going to get it done.
All right, there you have it. The keys to victory for both Clear Fork and Shelby. And speaking of them, we had the district draw. We talked about this a little bit on Monday on the podcast, but let's go over some of these districts. The Division II ASHLAND District girls, the Division III Shelby District, and the Division IV Willard District. And let's just start with that Division II ASHLAND District. Out of these teams, other than Shelby and Bellevue, who has a good chance of making it to districts? I'll start with Hayden this time. If he's not frozen. So we'll go to Brian.
Galleon Tigers about to get hot, surprise everybody. No offense to Galleon, no, I'm just joking. You know what? I've been saying all year because I've seen them a lot, and I just feel like they're capable. I think Mansfield Lady Tigers could definitely pull off a couple of upsets. I could see them getting past the Bellevue and playing at Ashland, certainly. Clear Fork would be the team, in my personal opinion, that I think is the second best in this entire bracket. So sign me up for the Lady Colts that we just talked about for the reasons that everybody just touched on. And then I think the Tigers, even though they're a 7 seed, a bit of a sleeper for me. I could even see them marching on, facing off against Shelby.
Okay. Hayden? Who do you think has the best chance of making it to districts other than Shelby and Bellevue?
I mean, I'll keep it with the team we just got done talking about. I think matchups favor Clear Fork quite a bit in that lower half. That's what we talked about on the podcast Monday. But I do kind of like how Brian mentioned Mansfield Senior. You know, I've personally had my doubts about them, but I know that they are a team that knows how to fight and put together a win. Coach Javar Hudgens, you know, a very wise coach, knows how to get it done when it comes to crunch time. And, you know, at the top half of the bracket, it's hard. We haven't seen a lot of these SBC schools. So there's a chance maybe one of those teams up there, Sandusky Perkins, could make a run. But I kind of like Clear Fork, and you know, I'll give some love to the Lady Tigers as well from the bottom. I think they can, you know, prove me wrong and get a win or two. As you said, Bellevue's not the powerhouse they used to be. So I'll be interested in that lower half for sure.
All right, G, what's your take? Other than Shelby, Bellevue, who's making it to districts?
Well, I think Hayden and Brian kind of reiterated what I'm going to say is I'm going to go with Clear Fork. And Brian mentioned it, Becca Conrad. I mean, I don't think anybody probably in this district can even match up with her or try to stop her. You can try to contain her, but, I mean, I don't know her exact height, but she's got to be upwards of 6'5", 6'6". So, and to be able to stop her, you got to put multiple bodies on her, and that leaves open shooters out on the outside like Lily Wortman, who can knock down a three. We've seen that against state-ranked Cardington Lincoln. I think if anybody's going to win this bracket, not named Shelby, I think even Clear Fork has a better shot than Bellevue, to be completely honest. But I think Shelby's going to boat race every team in this district.
I'm going to change it up for a second, Storm. Lexington, Vermilion, Port Clinton, Sandusky, Perkins. Out of one of those 4 teams, who's going to take on Shelby in a district semifinal?
Well, the only team I think I've seen out of those guys is Lexington, and so I got to go with Lexington. I think they're kind of an underdog, but they do have some solid pieces, and I know Lexington is just kind of one of those basketball schools. They kind of have a winning culture around there, so I definitely think Lexington could potentially play against Shelby, but like I think we've all pretty much said, I think it'll be Shelby to run that part of the bracket.
All right, and Brian, last word on this. What about the TY Tigers? I mean, they're down there against Oak Harbor, the 7 seed. They may get Bellevue in the sectional final. Do they have a shot at pulling off the upset? I guess not. The glories of technology, folks. Anyway, let's move on to the Division III Shelby District. And the top seed, Margaretta, but the number 2 seed, G-Man and Storm's Crestview Lady Cougars. So, G, I'll let you start off. What are their chances of making it through this district?
Well, I do like their chances. I seen Margaretta earlier this year against Willard, and first half they kind of stunk it up, but then second half they were able to regroup and get to Polar Bear basketball. But I think Crestview has a good shot, and I didn't think Crestview was going to be that good of a Lady Hoop squad this year. I seen him against Loudonville, and me and Storm seen him in a heck of a comeback. Again, I think it's a very good team in Loudonville, led by Corey Vermillion, who scores around 30 points a game. So to limit a score like that and to limit the team, I think they scored maybe 41. And Crestview was able to hold on defensively. That's what they hang their hat on, is defense. And I think defense travels in postseason play. Wherever you're going to play, it's going to be there every night. If they can just get the offense going, I like their chances to at least get to the championship in this district and possibly play probably Margaretta, who they usually end up playing.
All right, Storm, what about your Lady Cougars? Do they have what it takes to get to a regional? He's thinking.
You already know Storm's going to bandwagon it.
All right, Ski, I'll let you go.
I mean, I just got to see him beat a good Loudonville team, and I was impressed. Mary Leeper keeps her composure. They got about 3 other girls on the perimeter, too, that I think they're going to be in games because they didn't turn it over in big spots. They made big plays at the end of the game. They stuck around, and that's what you got to do. That's how you win 15 in a row. So I could potentially, for sure, see the Cougs getting out of there. Margaretta's going to be the favorite. They're the team that's played in those big games year after year, time after time. Willard used to be that team here in the not-so-distant past, but they're down this season. So my pick would be the Polar Bears, probably be taking on Crestview in the championship game and getting past them.
All right, Hayden, what are your thoughts about that district bracket?
I definitely think that Crestview has really made big bounds and leaps since the first game that you and I saw them, Travis, this year against Buckeye Central. So I think that their bottom part of the bracket, we saw Upper Sandusky take on a team like Shelby. I don't think that they'll have as much luck down in that area, even as a 6th seed. And then in the top, I mean, Margaretta arguably played Shelby the best of any opponent this year. So I think they're very deserving of that 1 seed, and I think they'll come out of the top. And other than that, I mean, I think I like Huron over Bucyrus, and I think the Willard Lady Flashes could possibly get a first-round upset against Colonel Crawford, but I think Margaretta's still going to be the team to come out of the top and probably meet Crestview.
Yeah, I think, after Margaretta and Crestview, what we saw from them, I haven't seen much of Lakota, so I really don't know what to say about them, but it looks like it's going to be Margaretta Crestview for that district championship, and who knows who will make it to Lexington High School. Storm, if you're back with us, give us your take on this district.
All I know is that Margaretta is really good. Like Hayden said, or like Hayden alluded to, they were the best team that played against Shelby, I think, this year, and I think that they will hold that title, even though, they did lose that match. They stuck with them, and Margaretta is one of those programs who's always historically good. Crestview on a run as well, so it would be interesting to see those two clash for the title, but I think I'm going to have to go with Margaretta in this one.
All right, so Storm going against his alma mater to get out of the district, but that's not a hot take or anything like that. It's a very good Margaretta squad that we saw, handle Willard easily. But Crestview, too, they have some upsets as well. That'll be good. Before we get to the D4 Willard District, it's a special night here at the OH Report because we're getting ready to sell some merch. Jory,
yeah, baby.
Hollenbeck, Brian, and a couple other folks are quick at trying to get this up and going. And Brian, I'm just going to hand you the floor and explain what we got going on here.
We are going to be launching our brand new line of merchandise, and we're working hand in hand with Creative Tea Apparel and more out of Belleville. So we're excited to bring what we are thinking is going to be the best local high school merch in the area. We're not going to nickel and dime you on any of the fabrics. We're going to have the best shirts. We're going to have the coolest designs. Not only can you get the OH Report original logos that we've built for every team in the area, we're also using the same that the schools use, and Cassie Bothman, who is in charge of creative apparel and more. She's got a great reputation over in Belleville. Been doing shirts for a long time and making cool original logos. So we're gonna have hoodies, T-shirts, basically anything that you can find and make with your logo on it. And I'm gonna launch it right now. If that's cool with you guys, I got my finger ready on the trigger. I got the thumbs up from Jory. So here we go, guys. In 3,
2, 1. Like I said, he's so excited he froze in time, but there we go. The OH Report merch is underway, and man, this couldn't have gone any better, huh, boys? Like this is perfect. Snow day, everything's going perfectly for us on our side, but hopefully you're having a good time at this at home on record because the stream was so bad that we aren't able to do this live. But anyway, Brian, I see you're back now. Did you hit the go button? Did you count down from 3? We're good? Okay.
We out there, baby. So go buy up some gifts for your friends. Get some merch for yourself, for your favorite teams. We out there. It's live.
I do have a question. Are we actually using Carrie's logo?
We have both. So you can buy the Blue Devil, our fabulous creator designer, and or you can get the real Carrie logo that evidently they love a lot around there, at least the not Coach Mershman. He's a big fan, so he can get his real devil that he grew up with, which they stole from Duke University.
Well, I heard that the real Coach Mershman likes our logo better, but I'll just keep it at that. Let's now that we got all that fun out of the way, let's continue on now with the Division 4 Willard District and the number 1 seed, state-ranked number 2, Buckeye Central. The Buckettes, the number 1 seed. Seneca East, the rival in the Northern 10, is sitting right there at the number 2 seed. And let's get right into the brackets. And Hayden, what are your thoughts on this district?
It's one of those that hits you a little bit similar to, Shelby's D2 bracket, just because you got those Lady Buckettes sitting down there, put on a dominant season, back at full health now. They got the whole roster back, and it's kind of like Shelby. You could tell a lot of those seeds wanted to avoid them down in that area. Mansfield Christian is a team we've seen play quite a bit on the show, but I don't know if they'll be able to compete and get past St. Paul. Up.
All right, thank you, Hayden. Garrett, is there anybody that's going to beat Buckeye Central?
No, they're going to run through this district, Travis, just like Shelby is going to. And I could see maybe a few upsets in here. I could see Lucas pulling it off against Mohawk. I don't know how much farther they would go in this bracket, but I think with the star power of Grover, they might be able to squeak one out and get a win, but I definitely see Buckeye Central going all the way, barring any kind of upset. We've mentioned it a couple times in the past couple weeks. Anything can happen in tournament hoops, but I don't see anything happen in this district, Travis. I got Buckeye Central moving on.
Storm, what are your thoughts?
Kind of feel the same way. Buckeye Central's just another one of those teams who's just really good, and I don't think anyone else can really compete with them. They got a lot of really solid pieces, and I don't really see a lot of teams in this division that I think could hang with them. I think that this will be pretty easy sweep here for the Buckettes.
Ski, I see you've teleported downstairs, so what are your thoughts on the D4 Willard District? Do the Lucas Cubs have a shot at making a district semifinal?
I don't think so. Seneca East is probably a legit number 2 seed. It's just that the number 1 is supremely a lot more talented, more gifted, deeper, got more experience than everybody else. So you never, ever say that the word never is going to come into the equation, but I never see any of these teams in my upcoming future beating Buckeye Central. They're just too good.
Yeah, and with Claudia Pfeiffer back, she just made the team that much better. And I know we've been talking about this. If she's in there against Shelby, I think it's a different game. G, you were the one that covered that game, correct?
Yes.
What do you think if Claudia Pfeiffer was in that Shelby game? Is it the same outcome? Shelby pull it off, or does Buckeye Central pull the upset?
I think it was. I think that it was like a 10-point game. Final. If correct me if I am wrong. I think it was upwards of
something
10
like that.
points. It was a close game throughout, and then Shelby kind of pulled away in the fourth. But I think if they had Piper, be a completely different story. They could probably guard her on one of the bigger twins and probably lock one of them down. At least try to contain them to their usual 15 points a game. But I think I could have seen Buckeye Central with the upset there, but I don't know if you want to call it an upset then, because both these teams are just they're too good for their districts, and I think both of them are going to run the table, and they're just both solid squads.
Yeah, they both are, and we have it. There's an opportunity that we may be down in Dayton watching both of these teams playing and competing for a state championship. So we've gone through these three brackets. We don't have the ones from the Central District up yet, but let's discuss some of these teams. Cardington Lincoln, they're the 3 seed in their Central District in Division 3. They've had a couple tough losses. You know, they lost to River Valley and then that Clear Fork game you just saw live and free a couple nights ago. But what are their chances of getting out of their district, Brian?
Well, I think you're in the same text chat that I am a part of, where we just found out breaking news that they do not want to reschedule the game they were supposed to play tonight against Loudonville.
Wow.
Take that for what it's worth. Evidently, they're just too banged up. So if that's the case, plus they're skidding a little bit down the stretch here, you know, there's a possibility they hang a lot of banners around there. They've got some great experience. We know they've got some excellent ball players. They've got the coach-daughter combo all going on, the twins, nevertheless. So, you know, that's a great 1-2 doublemint punch of freshmen there, right there on the court. But I think this isn't going to be their year. I don't predict Cardington Lincoln advancing and getting to a regional this season.
Anybody else over here in the chat think likewise?
I agree with Brian. I've seen Cardington a couple times this year, and every time I've seen them, they kind of let me down. They lost to River Valley when I was there, and then they almost lost to Northmore. They were able to pull that one off with the hardwood game winner. And then the other night against Clear Fork, I know Clear Fork and River Valley are tough teams, but if you are going to be state ranked, I think you have to be able to get those wins. I know they're banged up, but they finally were getting healthy, and I agree with Brian. I don't think I'm going to see them this year making it out.
Hayden, other than Cardington, we have other teams. We have Fredericktown, Northmore, Danville, East Knox. Do any of those teams have a shot at making it out of their district? That's D3 and D4.
I think potentially we just had a chance, Garrett Storm and I, to see Danville and East Knox last night. It was a very defensive game that went to overtime. I think both those teams have a lot of athleticism and competitive fight in them. I think out of those two teams, I'd like Danville over East Knox just a bit. I think they had a bit of a slow night last night, but still got the dub. And other than that, Northmore's a team that they did almost beat Cardington if it wasn't for Hardwick's buzzer beater. And I think that, Lexi Wenger gives them a chance to get some wins. I know they've kind of slipped down in the rankings the second half of the season, but I think Danville could probably get there.
And that's something. Northmore and Danville are on opposite sides of their district bracket, and it's a favorable bracket for both. So we may see a third time between those two teams in their district. And then East Knox, they're playing on the other side in a tougher bracket. But, if they play like they did against Danville defensively, you never know, they could make some noise. Loudonville, they're in a district up in Norwayne. The way you guys, I think all of us have seen Loudonville in person. I don't know, Brian, though, might be the one. Have you seen him in person, Brian? I'm going to take that as I don't think he has. Anyway, the power of the internet, folks. This is what it is. Anybody, let's start with G. You saw them against Crestview. Does the Redbirds have enough to make it through their Division 4 bracket?
Well, I definitely think they have the offensive firepower. Now, I think what their fault is their defense. They kind of struggle to slow teams down. And when Corey Vermilia or Shaylin Williams isn't on, where's the offense going to come from? Because both of those Williams average about 20 and Vermilia's upwards of 30. So when the offense for them is gone, my question is, where's it going to come from? And we've seen them against Crestview, me and Storm did, and both of them were kind of limited. I don't even think Williams scored that game. At least I don't think she did. She might have, but and they struggled offensively. Cora Vermillion got hers, but that was it. So I think Loudonville, if the offense is on, they're a scary team, but if it's not, I don't know about them.
Storm, your thoughts on the Redbirds and their chance of making it out of their district?
Loudonville's just a really solid program. They're a really solid squad this year. They did drop one to Mansfield Senior, which I thought was a really tough loss. But, I mean, they're playing up so many divisions, and, that's a really tough opponent for them for such a small school. So I think Loudonville has a pretty good opportunity to make some noise here in the playoffs. I mean, just a really, really good squad top to bottom. And that loss to Crestview was so hard fought. And that was just the battle of two heavyweight contenders going at it. And that's, a matchup you like to see. And just unfortunately, someone had to lose it, and it just happened to be Loudonville. But I think they'll be all right once tournament time comes around.
And you were right, G. Williams was held to 1-3 and 1 made free throw, so 4 points total in that game. And it was just Vermillion that did everything. So, that may be something that teams are going to look on, maybe just double one of the players, makes the other one beat you with 30 or 40 points. But they have the ability to. Ski, I wasn't sure if you've seen the Lady Redbirds in person yet. I know you were supposed to be on the call tonight against their Cardington game, which now we know is not going to be scheduled again. But what are your thoughts on the Redbirds and maybe regional final appearance against Buckeye Central?
I'll just mostly echo what G-Man said. I think defensively is where their true flaws are, and they have the best score that I've seen at a small school this season. Corey obviously being that player. She has a nice number 2. And then outside of that, it looks like girls are really going to find that sophomore when they get.
Hayden, take it away.
Yeah.
I probably don't have too much more knowledge to drop other than what we've said. I mean, they've got 2 of our stat-leading scorers for girls in the area. When they have it on, they are scary good. They can beat the best of the best. But if not, the one game I have watched them in person was against Mansfield Senior, the game that actually broke their extremely long regular season win streak. That was with you, Travis. And I think we just kind of saw when they buckled down or they get buckled down on offensively. Mansfield Senior caused a lot of turnovers, and they just weren't able to get things going offensively. So I think I agree with what's been said. Defense is a bit of a question.
Okay, that'll wrap it up for the bracket talk. We have still a week between everything else, so we'll probably talk about this more on the podcast and leading up, but we still have some girls basketball left to be played. And then, hey, Sunday, boys draw too, so a lot of brackets being revealed. We'll have more of that coming up on the OH Report in the coming days. But Brian, I'm going to hand it over to you because it is a snow day, and you had some shenanigans that you did today.
Well, not really shenanigans. It's just like when the world produces something, how they say when you get lemons, make that lemonade. That's what I tried to do with the white drapery that we got all over the neighborhood, and basically the entire state of Ohio. Hell, the entire Midwest has got the same exact weather forecast going on. So I wandered out with my son MJ, my wife Jory, and you guys can go ahead and take a look at what transpired after we exited the house and saw what was happening out there.
And here you go, the world premiere of Ski's Snow Day.
Birthday of Landon, the snow hurricane that's coming through Ohio right now. So some of the snow hurts a little bit. It's kind of more like icy, busty in the chops, and you feel it a little bit. But I just wanted to let the mayor of Mansfield know, Tim Thaker, hey, I got you. I saw that we were supposed to be shoveling our sidewalks. I made sure all the way to the end of my property line that I got it done, but I stopped right there. That's right, Sam and Chris, you gotta do your own yard. They got a preschooler that I saw, Gus. You should see the back muscles on that kid. He's about 5. He should be able to get the job done all the way to the rest of the curb. But hey, this house is vacant. I took it down that way. Once I get to the sign, hey, now it's Herring Realty's problem from there. But I'm doing my thing out there. So hopefully you're enjoying your snow day 2020. Looks like there's more to come. Stay tuned for more updates.
2022.
What? What is it? It still feels like 2020. It's been a long couple of years. 2020 hasn't ended? Not for me. Not for me. Check this out. 2 guys. Woohoo!
Pretty talented too. Just gave a guy a fist bump watching some of these moves. I have trouble just backing my car out of the driveway sometimes. Look at how little it is. These guys are scooting all over town. They got these big fish crystals jumping up in their face, splashing all around on their windshield, and they keep making it happen, pushing the snow up into beautiful piles like this. It's kind of a wonder to watch. Pretty cool. Check this out. Here he comes. Yeah, it's impressive. Quickly put that plow down there. Oh my God, right. Make sure you tip your snowplow driver. When life gives you snow, you gotta go make your own trail. Got to take full advantage. How's that taste? Amazing. Mother Nature tastes good, huh?
Yeah, so can I slide down this hill?
Let's see. The world is your sled oyster right now. Crack that baby open. New trail. Uncovered territory. For the first time ever.
Nutritious and delicious.
Oh! Kobe! See how high I got? It's about 6 inches. It's just like the snow.
And my dad is the perfect dunker.
Perfect? Dunk? I think I got these boots off the ground. I don't know about you, but playing in the snow wipes me out. Good thing this mattress was conveniently in the alley. Right behind my house. Just in case a little snap comes on. Early afternoon on Morningside Drive, and I think that we're allowed to come out here. Typically a hot spot for snow day activities here in the great city of Mansfield, just off of Park Avenue next to South Park. However, today looks like uncharted territories. The Skronskis, the first to make their way. As a Colorado native, I must admit I am a little bit of a pro when it comes to sledding, so you got to have the proper attire. So this is Sledding for Dummies 101. Definitely get a short sleeve underneath. It's a little bit of a workout when you come busting up the hill. After that, get a hoodie over the top. You got to zip that up. You can leave the other one open. Again, you're going to be getting a workout in, no doubt. So this is uncharted territory, wide open snow. There's a little bit of a lip at the bottom. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. Maybe I can get a Mother Nature jump lift out of it. Who knows how this is going to go? Let's find out.
Woohoo! It looks like you got a face full of snow.
Yeah, got a little ice beard growing. Few pieces branching out here off of the shiesty cap, so was it worth it? Yeah, got the adrenaline juice flowing, I guess, a little bit.
That must have been really scary because you went to like kind of gray to gray.
Kind of gray to gray.
Kind of gray to like really gray.
Has old man winter set in?
It really has.
Is it official? All right, let me go down on my knees this time. Fully get this face frosted, shall we? How'd I look? Good? I look cool?
You look great.
I look cool? Wow, wow, wow. Fell Army. What'd you think about Mom's style? Yeah. In honor of the South Paw, the Italian stallion, we're at South Park and we're gonna get it styling just like Rocky Balboa. You ready? Dun dun dun! Dun, dun, dun.
Brian Skronsky, a man that knows how to get a workout in no matter where it is at. Boys, what are your favorite snow day memories? I'll start with Hayden, work our way around to ski, because probably other than this day, because this was probably a fun memory for him. But Hayden, what was your favorite snow day memory?
I would definitely say sledding was a big part of it. I grew up with my best friend right in my backyard, so the minute we knew we didn't have school, it was a rush to get that snowsuit on, get outside, debate whether we could make it to the mile down to the reservoir. If not, we'd go over to my grandma's house down in the neighborhood, sled down her hill, and once we got a little bit older too, we still knew how to have some fun. My friend had a go-kart, and if the conditions were right, we would drive down around the neighborhood, do a little drifting, but definitely just anything outside with the best friends, enjoying that snow.
Nice. G, what's your story?
Well, growing up in Crestview area, I never really lived close to really anybody. It's really a sporadic area, so it's kind of just go play on your own. Walk outside. You kind of take in the cold. Obviously, sledding played a part when I was younger. As I grew older, it was more of the sleeping in, especially when you had school, man. I don't get to sleep in much anymore, but I think sleeping in was a big factor when I was in school. And then, of course, hopping on the game. I know I'm one of those guys that's a video gamer, so I know Storm is too. So I think our big thing was when we were in high school was we got to play video games pretty much from the time we woke up 8 a.m. until we went back to sleep at 11. And my actual favorite memory, now that I'm talking about it, now I'm understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, here we go.
We had a group chat in high school where we literally sent filter videos just making fun of each other, literally from the time we woke up on a snow day until we went to bed. So I guess that is my favorite memory. Started going on a rant there, but Storm will probably explain even more.
Hasn't that not stopped? I mean, it seems like you guys do that to this day anyway, but
No.
Storm, please elaborate on this.
It was a different time, man, back then. The Snapchat filters, they were kind of still pretty new, but it would always just be kind of something like, hey, fellas, no school today. Make sure you're staying safe, things like that. And I don't know why I thought that was so funny. The filter made your voice a lot deeper. It was hilarious. And I remember we did that for 2 days straight. And back in 2018, times were so much simpler. We were hopping on Fortnite, dropping in Tomato Town, just hiding under buildings, trying to get a victory royale any way we could. It was a special time back then, man.
And according to Ski, that was only 2 years ago. But Ski, it seems like no matter what, you get a workout in, even if there's 10 inches of snow on the ground. But other than today, what's your favorite snow day memory?
My entire life growing up in Colorado, like, we're prepared for this kind of stuff. This is a joke what we just got here today. We giggle at the snowstorm that came through and we go, haha, that's Tuesday. So I got one snow day and one snow day only my entire life growing up, and that's a true story. We were allowed to drive snowmobiles to school where I grew up, and a raccoon, of all things, got into the electric place and cut out all the electric to the building. So it wasn't even because of the snow, but we called it a snow day where we didn't have to go, and I don't remember what I did. Probably played some video games like G-Man and Storm did. We didn't have no fancy Snapchat filters. Hell, we just had flip phones back then, if I remember right. Those were probably brand new technologies too. We were still calling from the car with the big cord and stuff. So that was the only snow day memory I have. We didn't grow up with them. I got a few when I was at North Central State when I moved here, but they really put the pacifier in the mouth of these kids out here. I tell you what, there's too many calamity days, but I guess we got...
Yeah.
Good enough. Good enough.
Winter Storm Landon's told him to be quiet for a second.
Winter Storm Landon's done a lot more to my mental health tonight than probably anybody else with this. But any last words for any of you? I'll let you finish things out, Hayden. Just whatever you want to say. Just have at it, bud.
I'll just say everyone stay safe. Don't drive if you don't have to. And in terms of what we're going to have coming up for you in the next couple of days, Friday and Saturday, just stay tuned to our social media. We'll get updates out there about whether these games are going to be played or not as soon as we know. So stay tuned. to the socials, getting on it as quick as we can.
Ski, I think my internet hates you, buddy.
Yeah, I've been checking my internet speed, and I'm as fast as can be. I'm at 200 up or 200 down, 10 up. So something's going on. I get kicked out every 2 minutes. So
Okay,
you see,
so real quick,
a little crazy.
real quick, I'm gonna let you get your last word in. Anything you want to say, have at it, bud. Before you get cut out one more time.
Oh, just about life in general. Eat your vegetables. Take your vitamins every day. COVID's still a real thing. Vitamin C, vitamin D every single day. Eat a little bit better than this crew right here. You can't just be doing donuts and dinner boxes all the time, even though I know that's contrary to beliefs around here, at least on the bottom part of the screen up top. We got the gluten-free string bean that's with me. So keep the shakes rolling, baby. It's good for you.
Hey, and he made it too. G, have at it.
Well, even though I am fat, nobody can hit the gritty like me. So,
Ooh.
Hey.
I'm the best gritty on the team.
Okay, Storm,
Stop that one, man.
close it out, bud. If you can. Can
Yeah.
you? No?
I think Storm
He's
gone.
asleep. He's either dead or asleep. Hey, MJ.
Hey, Chunk.
Oh. And
Anything you want to say?
That's how we're gonna end it on the
MJ? Say hi to everybody.
We're freezing, Trav. Roll it.
It's winter. We're froze. Get us out of here.
Oh, there's
my
Storm.
God. Him, bro.
Storm,
There's
I'm
Storm.
back.
you get last word for you. What do you want to say?
Burrito pie. They're so good.
If you don't know what that is, look at the Eye of the Storm, which came earlier. That and snow peas, you'll understand. And for me, it's a level 3 for Ashland and Richland County, so you can't go out anyway, because if you're in a car, you're going to get arrested unless it's an emergency. So just stay home, watch all the videos we got, because they're still free, even though they're not live, but they're free. So watch any replay of games from the last 2 years. Go ahead and drink your hot cocoa and all that stuff. Play your Fortnite. Watch the Olympics. Go USA, women's team, hockey team. Want to know already. But that'll do it.
USA.
Somehow we were able to get through the last 45 minutes, so we're just going to cut it off here. For Brian, Hayden, G, Storm, I'm Travis. We out.